Transformers. I don't know how many of my few viewers know this, but if you're a friend or family member of mine, you know I used to be a huge fan of Transformers, and till this day, I still have love and appreciation for the series. And growing up, there were two Transformers series I would obsess over: Transformers Animated and the Michael Bay movies. Now, as fun as it is to make fun of Michael Bay's style of filmmaking, I actually have a lot of appreciation for the way he directs his movies. While his films aren't exactly masterpieces, they're always a lot of fun, and I don't think he should get hate for that. And he honestly sounds like an alright guy, and he doesn't seem stuck up like a director like M. Night Shyamalan. And that brings us to his Transformers series. Arguably the most popular series he's ever created, since they were each massive hits at the box office. Despite this though, a lot of people look back at the series as a silly, forgettable train wreck. While my opinion won't be 100% trustworthy since I am largely blinded by nostalgia, I am obviously still a fan of these movies years later. And after rewatching the original Transformers for the first time in years, I am here to talk about what I think of the first movie. Without any more stalling, let's begin. Now, the plot to this movie is pretty simple. After the Cybertron war between the Autobots and the Decepticons, a cube that wields great power was lost somewhere in the galaxy. Would you know it? It just happens to have landed in Earth. We then follow a nerdy teenage boy named Sam Witwicky, who's finally getting a new car, but this new car turns out to be an Autobot named Bumblebee. After the situation progresses a bit, Sam finds himself in the middle of a war between the Cybertronian species, as each side attempts to find a pair of glasses that belong to Sam's grandfather. If found, it will lead them to the cube. If the Autobots find it, it will be rightfully destroyed or hidden. If the Decepticons find it, humanity will be wiped out. There's obviously a lot more to the plot that I left out, but if I tried to explain all of it, this wouldn't exactly be a fast thoughts video. So yeah, that's the plot, and honestly, it's not a bad one. Not only does it do a decent job establishing the Autobots and Decepticons war, but it perfectly explains why they're fighting and what led them to Earth and what any of this has to do with a horny teenage boy. Now, the only thing I don't like about these movies is how much attention they give the human characters and how little they give the Transformers themselves. Don't get me wrong, the human characters in this movie are nice, different from one another, and pretty funny at times, but for a movie that has a huge selection of fan-favorite Autobots and Decepticons, we really don't see much of their personality shine through. The most personality we get from any of them is Bumblebee, since we see him the most and he's pretty funny. But that's it, and all of the Autobots are just walking stereotypes. Optimus is the wise leader, Ratchet is the rational thinker and healer, Ironhide's whole personality is he wants to shoot things, and Jazz is the cool one. But don't even get me started on the Decepticons. There are about 6 or 7 Decepticons seen in this movie, and all but 2 of them don't have any personality. The 2 that do get blessed with being considered actual characters are Starscream and Megatron, the 2 most popular. But my personal favorite Decepticon, Starscream, is degraded from being a stuck-up egotistical coward hell-bent on replacing Megatron as leader of the Decepticons, to a one-dimensional henchman with 1 or 2 lines and 1 cool action scene. And Megatron isn't much better either. Now, Megatron is usually depicted to be a one-dimensional tyrannical leader, but in most incarnations, he is terrifying. But in this one, he's not calculating nor fearful. He's pretty boring and only serves to be just a generic all-powerful antagonist. So yeah, while I wish the Cybertronian characters got more attention, if you're not already a Transformers fan going in, you'll likely not care as much. Now, one thing you absolutely cannot say is a con about this movie is its action and effects. It's no secret this movie had a big budget, but Michael Bay doesn't waste a single dollar of it. The fight scenes, look at the Transformers, the destruction. It's not every day a movie from 2008 can pass off as a movie from 2020, but this movie certainly holds up 12 years later. I mean, just look at a scene of Optimus Prime transforming. That is still cool to see. So yeah, if you want to see a cool movie about robots fighting each other, you'll likely not be disappointed with this one. However, can I just talk about this movie's tone? One special thing about Michael Bay movies is the fact that all of them feel like Michael Bay movies. That can either be a good thing or a bad thing depending on your preference, but I personally love the tone these movies have. Everything from the wacky humor and the comedically over-the-top characters, I just love watching his movies. They never bore me, and no matter if you like or hate his direction, you can't lie and say that you get bored watching his movies. One thing that helps cement this opinion of mine is the pacing. These movies move at a pretty solid pace, and like I said, they'll never bore you. In conclusion, is Transformers a good movie? I'd honestly say yes. If you take away all the context when it comes to the director or the series it's attached to, and you judge Transformers on its own, then I think this movie constitutes as good. However, I can see why you would be turned off by it. It has Michael Bay's fingerprints all over it. There's a lot of missed opportunities, underutilized characters from a pretty cool franchise. It was a tough choice between a 3 or a 4, but I think my nostalgia has gotten the better of me, and I'm giving it a 4 on my end. It's a lot of fun, and it never gets tiring to revisit. So yeah, Transformers gets a 4 out of 5. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Next week, I'll be looking at Transformers 2 Revenge of the Fallen. If you guys enjoyed the review, then please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace, everyone.